What you think about when you're born into a fire. Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To play, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. And we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To play, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway.
Welcome to the Throttle Up Racing Network. Tonight we're back with the Gulf Digital Services Cup Series, and we are at Circuit of the Americas. This road course, the longest on the circuit, 20 turns, and it will test our drivers tonight abilities to turn not only left but to turn right, and multiple times back and forth. Like I said, 20 turns. This is a difficult racetrack. And we'll see right now. Dalton Fredericks, top of the board. Fastest in practice, Andrew Mraz and Landon Lacey. The only two drivers within 2 seconds, AJ Cruz and Jake May, also round out your top 5 on speed as we get ready to go to qualifying. 10-minute session tonight. We will set the field, and we'll have to see if those fast cars do indeed qualify up front, or will they be mired back in the field. It doesn't take much to get an off track here and have those laps discounted. But we're waiting for these drivers to get back around to start their first laps. Taking a look at tonight's race info. 79 degrees the ambient temperature, cloudy outside, 109 degrees on the track temp. So kind of in that range where we should be getting pretty good grip, a little bit slippery maybe for these race car drivers. But overall, should be a solid race tonight. Still waiting for our first driver to get all the way back around. Dane's going to start over. Scott Wise out there. He's down in turn 11. Andrew Rousseau on the 27 back with us this week. He'll go out for his first lap. Eric Higdahl in the 11. Ben Cowdermarsh in the 14. Going around turn 1. Kyle Zimmer in the 25. Andrew Moore Jr. out there. Coming back around towards the end, about to start his first lap. Jim Thorndike in the heavy braking zone right there. Into that long back straightaway. And that... Jim Thorndike. And he is coming back through the carousel, turns 17 and 18. This track, 3.426 miles, over 2 minutes to take one lap around this racetrack tonight. And we'll see right now who's going to be the favorite. We got to think Dalton Fredericks is probably going to be the favorite as he was fastest in practice. Looks very solid. Taking a ride with Dalton Fredericks. Very smooth. And you can be fast, but you've got to not get any off tracks. That's difficult around this track. It is set up for Formula One, not really set up for the NASCAR cars as well. And it doesn't take much to get an off track, and that's going to disallow your qualifying times. You've got to be extra careful here in qualifying. Dalton doing just that, not really risking getting it off track. Just looks very smooth. It looks like Frederick's going to be our first one across the line here. See if that one counts. Fredericks top of the board with a 2:13.66, and I think that was actually faster than he run in practice. I think he was at a 2:14 in practice. So Dalton Fredericks laying it down here. You see those rotors glowing as he goes down into turn one. Jake May will qualify second right now, 3 seconds off the pace set by Fredericks. And he is sending it through the S's. This right here is a fun little corner. Turn 8 back into 9. He slings it to the outside. He is pushing hard right now. Lacey will qualify second. His teammate Quentin Clark last week told us that our favorite, the one we should be watching this week, is Landon Lacey. And one thing that's different tonight from any other race so far this season, that our stages have no cautions. So if these guys get ahead from the start, they'll continue to just pull away. So you hope that some of these drivers like Lacey and Raz might have a little long run dialed into their setup. Moore qualifies in the 5th position. And he'll take it off the track. Simon Grills in 6th quick. Michael Spengler up to 8th. Quentin Clark 9th fastest right now. Mike Robinson 10th quick. Kyle Zimmer 11th quick at the moment. Garrett Fox 12th fastest. Scott Wiles qualified 13th. Ben Cowdermarsh 14th spot right now as he gets knocked down. Gary Wells moves up. Eric Hegdahl moves up to 9th. Now 10th as AJ Cruz moves up to 5th. Scott Stockles 18th, but Brayton Laster 19th. Chris Stange, and that's 72, currently 20th quick. 21st quick is John Tiller. Now he passes Stange to move to 20th. And Dakota Bailey 22nd fast. Jim Thorndike into 59, 23rd quick. Nathan Lyon out on the track. He'll be our 24th qualifier. 27 cars have logged into the session, so we will have a pretty full field for you tonight. Nathan Lyon qualified 22nd. I don't think he's going to have enough time to make it all the way back around. Oh, Brayton Laster is sitting on his side. Not sure how that happened. Maybe we'll have a good replay to watch here. Here we go. Oh, hit the wall hard. And he is still sitting there. Try to get some rescue services over to Brayton Laster. We'll go back and watch Nathan Line and Eric Hegdahl still out on the racetrack. And the qualifying session will end, and we will go to our main event. 34 laps, 3 stages tonight. And once again, no cautions for those stages. But for now, we will go through the grid. Qualifying on the pole, the number 20 of Dalton Fredericks. Outside pole, the number 52 of Landon Lacey. Qualifying in the 3rd position, Andrew Mraz in the number 4. Jason Blaney in the number 22. He will start 4th position tonight. AJ Cruz in the 75. He'll roll off in 5th spot. Jake May in the number 10. He'll start 6th. In 7th is the 77 of Andrew Moore. 8th starting spot, Simon Grills in the number 8. Kyle Zimmer will start 9th. Michael Spengler will start in the 10th position. And we will go through the rest of your grid. In 11th is Eric Hegdahl. 12th is Garrett Fox. 13th starting spot is Quentin Clark. Mike Robinson in 14th. Chris Stange in 15th. 16th, Scott Wise. 17th, Gary Wells. 18th, Ben Cowdermarsh. 19th, Scott Stockel. 20th is Braden Laster. 21st is John Tiller. 22nd is Nathan Line. 23rd, COTA Bailey. 24th will be Jim Thorndike. Starting in the 25th position is Joe Torres. In 26th is Zachary Taylor. And starting from the pits likely will be Andrew Rousseau in 27th. Landon Lacey on the outside pole. Dalton Fredericks will start from the lead as the pace car pulls in. Green flag, we are underway here at Circuit of the Americas. Mraz with a big dive to the inside of Fredericks in turn 1. Can he hold it? It'll send Fredericks way wide, and Mraz goes around off the nose of Jacob May. And that is a big detriment for Mraz. He will move all the way to the back of the field. And we'll take another look. An aggressive move from Andrew Mraz coming down the front stretch into turn 1. And that sends the 20 wide to avoid the 4. He gets sideways and basically stops in front of the field. Jacob May with nowhere to go. Can't get turned around. A couple other cars hit him. Has to back up. A big loss for the 4 of Andrew Mraz. He'll come out, went into turn 1 fighting for first, and he'll come out in 21st. Dalton Fredericks will lead us down the backstretch for the first time. And the 5 of Scott Stockel around. Several cars with damage already. There's one around the 22 who was up front. Jason Blaney has to get back going. These, we're looking for lap 8 to end the first stage. There goes the 6 around and the 13 with him. COTA Bailey and the 13 of Laster both in that corner. Laster trying to avoid the 6, has to spin it out the opposite direction. Laster now all the way back to 23rd. As we look back at Andrew Mraz, who's back up to 14th after dropping down to 21st after that first lap incident. Dalton Fredericks with the big lead. Jake May in second. Landon Lacey right behind, trying to put the pressure on May for second spot. Michael Spengler up to the 4th position, gained 6 positions already. A lot of chaos going on in front of him. Andrew Moore up 2 positions from the start. Simon Grill's hanging on to 6th spot. Garrett Fox right behind him in 7th. That is a hard corner to break for, the longest straight stretch on the track. As Mike Robinson, who's now up to 8th, makes it through along with Kyle Zimmer. 4 cars right here together. Oh, and the 16, Zach Taylor, he's on the move right now. He is up 15 positions from the start. Almost got into the back of the 75 of AJ Cruz. Taylor again slides it through the corner. AJ Cruz with a run to the inside of Kyle Zimmer. That's the battle for 9th. Cruz gets a little loose on the corner. Cruz now sets his sights on Mike Robinson, trying to take that 8th position away. Mraz right behind these two, up to the 12th position. Mraz trying to get back into those stage points. Maybe trying a little bit too hard. You see him missing some of these corners, over driving. A big dive into the corner. Oh, and he and the 16 get together. 16 doesn't go around. And Mraz trying to make these big moves. We now see the 30 of Gary Wells approaching to try and pass him back. The 16 letting that 4 by, knows he's in a hurry. The battle for second is on. And the 16 did take the 4 out there. Mraz goes around. That's the second time now from Mraz he's faced backwards in this race. The battle for second, though. Landon Lacey's gotten around Jake May for that second spot. Nobody right now can really compete with Dalton Fredericks. You can see the lead that he's got right now. May trying to do all he can to reel Lacey back in. The 12 of John Tiller sits backwards in turn one. That'll drop him all the way down to the last position. One slow there. That's the 5 of Stockel. Zach Taylor back to 17th. Let's see what happened here to Zach Taylor. Yeah, the 4 battling side by side, but looks like the 16 just hit that inside curb and went around. Maybe pushing a little too hard there, but he'll drop all the way back to 17th spot, so he's got a long ways to go to get back to where he was. Fredericks got out to that 4.5 second lead, and it's just stayed there once Lacey got around May. Lacey trying to reel him back in. The battle for fourth between Michael Spengler and Andrew Moore right now pretty tight. Spengler less than a second ahead of Moore as Moore continues to reel him in little by little. These two pretty evenly matched. We see the 69 slide the tires into the corner. Has a little effect on the short term, but if you keep sliding those tires, it will have a big effect on the long term. As we see Kyle Zimmer and I think Jason Blaney side by side. Now Mike Robinson side by side with Blaney. They head down this long straightaway. Out of turn 11 and down now into turn 12. The big braking zone. The 22 of Blaney locks it up. Can he get it slowed down? He does. Kyle Zimmer gets through there as Blaney has to sit it a little far right between the two cars. Robinson up 4 spots, now up to the top 10 for the first time tonight. Blaney trying to get this position back. Was involved in an incident earlier, and now a big dive once again too hard, too deep. Blaney slings it wide. Off track for a good ways, but able to get back on, but will be still behind Mike Robinson. Blaney trying very hard to gain positions. I'll tell you, Landon Lacey's gained a second in the last lap and a half. 2 seconds now. That's 2.8 seconds the difference between Lacey and Fredericks for the lead. We know Fredericks has that short run speed, that qualifying fast lap speed, as he was over a second faster than the field. But maybe this Lacey has some long run built into his setup, or maybe he's just the type of driver that needs to get into a rhythm. And it's hard to do that in a 2-lap qualifying session, but now here we are 6 laps in, and Lacey, the fastest car on the track for the last few laps. And I think he's about to reel off maybe our fastest lap of the night, including qualifying. Fredericks ran a 2:13 in qualifying. That last time by Lacey with a 2:14.93, Fredericks with a 2:14.69. Unless Fredericks is off the pace, Lacey's going to lay down a burner here. A little slip across the line. Fredericks' lap time was identical at a 2:14.69. Lacey a 2:14.62. Lost a little bit there coming off the corner. Mraz has now found himself back up to the 11th position, trying to get into the top 10 before the end of this stage. Mraz, who qualified third, a daring move on turn 1 sent him backwards all the way back to 21st, up to 11th, but he is 32 seconds right now off the lead. And if he takes his time and gets through these cars, nobody's giving him a break right now. But realistically, he could definitely move back up. As we see the 25 off track, both those cars get by. So Mraz will be back into the top 10, 34 seconds off the lead. But it is realistic that Mraz could get back up to the 4th position, but he's got a lot of work to do. Only 10 seconds behind Spengler in 4th. But Kyle Zimmer loses a couple of spots, and that'll knock him out of the stage points. And Mike Robinson backwards. We'll roll that back and see what happened to him. Just a little too much gas out of the corner, sends it right around. So we are now on to the end of the stage lap. So that last time by Lacey, 0.3 quicker. don't think Lacey's going to be able to reel him in. These two have driven away from Jake May in third. Showed you just how solid that Fredericks and Lacey are. That, I mean, Jake May's putting down some pretty quick lap times. But still 11 seconds now out of the lead. So now coming across the line to end stage one, Dalton Fredericks will win stage number one. Landon Lacey in second. Jake May comes around that final corner. He'll come home in third. The battle now for fourth. Michael Spengler's got it. 2 turns to go now, down to the last turn. Spengler will come around in fourth position. Fifth will be Andrew Moore Jr. Sixth is the 75 of AJ Cruz. Simon Grills with a great night tonight, running in the 7th position. Andrew Mraz able to get around a couple more cars to get 8th, so a couple of stage points salvaged after that first lap spin. Jason Blaney comes home in 9th, and Garrett Fox will get the last stage point. In 11th position, Kyle Zimmer in the 25, Mike Robinson in the 12th spot. Quentin Clark is 13th. '14th is Eric Hegdahl. 15th, Gary Wells. Joe Torres in 16th after starting, did not qualify, started back on the back. Ben Cowdermarsh in 17th. Chris Stange, 18th position. Brayton Laster right now 19th spot. 20th is Scott Wise. 21st, Dakota Bailey. 22nd is Nathan Line. Scott Stockel in 23rd. John Tiller, 24th position. 25th is Jim Thorndike, and he is the first car 1 lap down. Zachary Taylor chose to pack it up. I believe he will take it home as he's the first car out of this race in the 26th position. So now down to the second stage. We'll take a look. I believe it's lap 15. Yes, lap 15. So a few more laps. Dalton Fredericks starting to pull away now from Lacey. A 4-second gap. He's gained another 2 seconds. Actually gained 1.1 seconds just that last lap alone on Lacey. The stage will be at the end of 19 to go. Actually, it'll be at the end of, yes, 19 to go. So Dalton Fredericks has put 1 car lap down and is now not far behind the 12 of John Tiller. So we're going to see him putting some cars lap down here very shortly. Right now, the most action on the field around Joe Torres. Torres right now in the 15th spot. Just in front of him, Eric Hegdahl. There's a battle for the 10th position between Garrett Fox and Kyle Zimmer. It looks like Garrett Fox a little bit smoother around, but as he sends it a little wide, Kyle Zimmer making the track a little bit shorter, and that seems to be paying off. Takes a look to the inside, but can't quite get there. We'll see. Will Kyle Zimmer making a run down in to turn one? He's looking to the inside. He tries to outbrake him there. He does. He makes it stick. This is that battle for the last stage point for stage number 2. We still got 5 laps to go. Kyle Zimmer now taking that spot, starting to pull away. Mraz in that 8th spot, starting to catch Jason Blaney. We know there's a little bit of bad blood between these two. A little bit of a rivalry going on. We'll see Mraz kind of slide those tires. Blaney sideways through the carousel. There's our first pitter of the day, the 69. Michael Spengler will take his pit stop. And he will come to a stop in his pit stall. That'll move Mraz now up to 7th and Blaney up to 6th. Up in front of these two, Andrew Moore, that number 77, having a really solid night. Somebody that's, been on the move is AJ Cruz. Got involved in a scuffle earlier. Has moved his way back up to the 4th position. A clean, solid day right now for that 75. Jacob May. Putting down some solid lap times, but it's not really enough to keep up with these top two as Lacey now continues to drop behind our leader. Now 7 seconds back, and that last lap he lost 3/10. With about a second and a half of fall off right now between these drivers' fastest lap and their last lap. But even with that second and a half fall off, they're still faster than everyone else out there on the track right now. Lacey will send it wide, trying his best to reel in this man, Dalton Fredericks, who is currently our leader. We've got another one in on the pit lane. That's the number 6 of Dakota Bailey making his pit stop. At the pace that Dalton Fredericks is setting right now, he could lap all the way up to 10th position. Gary Wells battling with Eric Hegdahl and Chris Stange for the 16th position. Hegdahl trying his best to reel in that number 30 of Gary Wells, but Wells putting together quite a few laps. Good clean laps here. The 69 of Michael Spengler, we saw him pit just a lap ago, gets his pit stop in. He's 15th, just ran a 2:27, so gonna have to pick it up from that. Needs to be running about 10 seconds faster. Fredericks now 20 to go. So Fredericks will have to wait, see when he pits. Landon Lacey in the second spot, Jacob May third. AJ Cruz still that solid night right now. But Andrew Moore on the hunt. Jason Blaney and Andrew Mraz right behind. These two have been battling it out the last several laps. They both lock up the tires. Blaney with a much better run on corner exit. Mraz doing all he can. They're coming to the white flag on the stage. Blaney really making some moves there. But sends it wide and goes around. Oh, a hard nose into the wall. And Mraz gonna get by. Blaney gets it back going. He'll be in the 7th spot. He'll have to come back around. I think Mraz, he's qualified fast. He's been fast, but I think he's just overdriving a little bit. That's why he's not been able to get back up through the field like I expected him to. But he is back up to 6th. You see there again, locks up the rear tires. Not sure what he's got his brake bias set at, but it looks like some issues going on. The rear tires locking up a lot for Andrew Mraz. Torres back here, 12th position. He's gained 13 spots from the start, but he's not going to be able to get stage points on this one. As we come around, Fredericks will take the stage win. Landon Lacey will head down the pits, but he will end up 2nd in the stage. Jake May, he's going to come around to get 3rd in the stage, and stage number 2. It's a little pit strategy there from Landon Lacey as he is in there to get his service. Now AJ